What do you make of the new poll numbers? A couple very interesting across the country. You've got Cain up now nationally in 2 of them. National Journal today has Romney ahead in the first 4 states: Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and Florida. You've got Newt Gingrich now has moved into a pretty consistent 3rd place with about 12 percentage points. What do you make of the latest numbers? And do you think?
I think you've got a pretty good summary of them. Nationally, Cain has moved up. If you look internally, he sort of appears sort of mid-month to have hit his high point, 29 or 30, and then drifted down a little bit since then. But he has got national momentum. He's actually got momentum in some of the early states too. Romney leads in all 4, which is good news for Romney. And in 2 of them, Cain is 2 points behind.
That's good for Cain.
Now the question for Cain is whether he is going to, he's going off to Alabama shortly. He's speaking tonight in Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, Washington County. I've done that Lincoln Day dinner. He's doing it tonight. The question is whether Cain's campaign, which has got 4 people in Iowa and a couple of people in New Hampshire, whether he's going to go into these early states. Because look, people in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, to a lesser extent Nevada and Florida, but particularly those first 3, take this seriously, and they operate differently than Republicans the rest of the country. That is to say, they absorb a lot more information and then they lock in for somebody. So while the national polls may, sort of fluctuate, there comes a point where in Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina, they begin to fluctuate less than the national average.
By the way, Cain got mad at you because apparently you had said his poll numbers were going down, and he kind of took you on. Did you see that?
Yeah, he actually used me for a fundraising purpose. He sent out an email saying I was a part of a gigantic conspiracy. Look, here's the deal, Sean. You and I have talked about this before. Fox wants me to be call balls and strikes. That's what Mr. Murdoch sends me my paycheck for, is not to be a cheerleader. So I said, look, he's got a problem, these missteps of, appearing to, have a position on where he says I'm against abortion, but I'm willing to accept the fact that families decide to have abortions, that I don't know what neoconservative means, that I don't know what the Palestinian right of return means, and that I've, a whole series of these other sort of missteps. Say, we're going to negotiate with terrorists. No, I'm not going to negotiate with terrorists. I said, it's not. It's a flip-flopper. It gives people pause as to whether or not he's up for the job. Now, he's got such passion and energy. He gets more than the normal number of mulligans. But, these are mistakes. And at some point it's going to begin, and I think it probably already has, to create some problems and difficulties for him.
I said to him last night, and I brought up the Palestinian right of return and foreign policy, and he said, well, look, that's not my big area of expertise, nor is it really anybody's, and then he talked about being a manager and hiring good people and getting the smart people around you, but he has a governing philosophy. And the governing philosophy on defense is peace through strength, trust but verify, and that America needs to, advance the cause of liberty. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing.
I want my president to get his training done before he walks into the Oval Office. We've seen what getting your on-the-job training in the Oval Office means. I want somebody who's thought about these issues and worked on these issues and started to surround himself with strong people. Remember when Mr. Cain said that he had gotten the best economists in the country to help fashion his 999 plan, and it turns out to be a guy who works in the wealth management division of a branch of Wells Fargo Bank in northeastern Ohio.
Oh, but he also got the approval of Art Laffer and
sure.
Other.
But you know what? That was after
Ryan,
the fact. That was after he laid it out. It wasn't Art Laffer wasn't in the room writing the plan. It was Art Laffer commenting on the plan.
Right.
So my point is this. I want to get a sense of who's surrounding this guy in foreign policy, and I want to know that he's gotten his hands dirty on this issue and begun to educate himself before he gets into the Oval Office.